podcast. Student Dream is a financial education company that trains ambitious Black and Brown students to build wealth. So we train ambitious Black and Brown students to build wealth. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world. In case you forgot, we train ambitious Black and Brown students to build Black wealth. And we do that through courses and coaching and content all around personal finance, investing, entrepreneurship, music licensing, real estate, and so much more. And so really, we want you as a student to be able to financially thrive before, during, and after college. All right. And so that's what we do, because most students struggle with money. And so if you are tired of being broke, if you're exhausted with being broke and just confused about your money, your vision for your future life, we are here to help you start building your Black wealth today. All right. So I'd love for everybody who's coming into the webinar today, let me know where you're from, what borough are you representing, what school are you representing, and what you came here for, right? Because we have about 30 minutes to hit the ground running and give you what you want, give you what you need. So, Onyeti, Michelle, let me know, where are you from? What'd you come here for? You have the privilege of being here with me one-on-one. So talk to me, what's up? And I'd love it if you can come on camera, that would be incredible. If not, that's okay. But if you can, that would be incredible.
Hello.
Hey, looking great, Michelle.
Thank you. My name is Oneidi, Michelle,
Lady.
and I just really want to learn more what are my options because I am undocumented. But
Okay.
I do have I've been struggling and I really want to find a way, opportunities.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we can absolutely work with you. We have so many great resources that we're still building out. But at the end of the day, especially once you start to identify some of your skills and start to build more relationships, that's how business happens. So there's a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities and business opportunities that you can pursue. So we can definitely talk more about that.
Thank
All
you.
right. Of course. And where are you from?
I'm from
What borough?
Mexico. I
México.
live in Queens,
Qué
New
bien. ¿Cuál parte? Dime.
York, in Junction.
Injunction,
Mexico
okay.
is in
Pero ¿cuál parte de México?
Tlaxcala.
La Scala. No, no, no conozco La Scala. Conozco eh, Puerto Vallarta
Mm.
y ¿qué más? No sé. Pero yeah, I minored in Spanish in school, so I think I just love Celia Cruz, so that's
Oh, your
why.
Spanish is really good.
Thank you. Now I have a new person I can practice with, so
Yeah.
thank you. But that's dope. And what school do you go to here in the city?
I go to Baruch College.
Oh, awesome. So you're in the right place. Yeah. Tell me what's your major and what year?
I'm majoring in entrepreneurship, and this is my freshman year.
Come on. Oh my goodness, girl. You're gonna graduate rich. Mark my words. You telling we got 4 years? Okay, this is good. This is good.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Yeah, so just to go into more detail, I'll tell you a little bit about me. So I was similar, I've obviously I when I was in school, I went to Howard University in Washington, D.C., and I knew that I loved business. So I studied international business, but there was never a moment that I thought to myself, hey, what do I want to get at the end of these 4 years? What is the return on investment that I want from this education? And when it comes to graduating rich and knowing your options, you got to have that vision, right? So there's really probably, I would say, 5 or 6 steps that you as a student need to take if you want to graduate rich. And number one, it's having a vision. One of my professors when I was in school, he had this saying, don't leave without your groceries. Make sure you leave with your groceries, right? You come into the supermarket knowing that there's something that you want to walk away with. So make sure you leave with your groceries. And so, but a lot of times when students, when we come to school, we just think, okay, we're just thinking in the moment. Let me make sure I get a good grade in this class. Let me make sure I
Yeah.
show up. But we're not even thinking if you're paying what 5,000, like how much is tuition at Baruch?
5,000.
Yeah, if you're paying $5,000, and that's every semester, every year.
Every semester.
Every semester you're paying $10,000 a year. You better have an idea of what your groceries are and what you want to walk away with. But a lot of times students don't. And so the first step to graduating rich is having a vision for what you want to walk away with when you leave that school, because you are investing $10,000 a year. So essentially $40,000 over the course of 4 years. Best believe I don't care if I'm leaving just with $40,000 and 1 cent, I better get a return on my investment. Okay. So put that in the chat. Return on investment, also known as ROI. Return on investment, also known as ROI. Khaled, it is great to see you. We got DJ Khaled in the building. Brother, if you can come on camera, that would be amazing. If not, that's okay, but I would love to put a face to the name. Let me know what school you're coming from, what borough you're representing, or city you're representing.
Sure. Hey everyone. Unfortunately, I can't put my camera on, but
No sweat.
hopefully the Zoom picture helps.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, so I go to Brooklyn College, also from Brooklyn as well.
nice.
Um, yeah. But is there anything else?
Yeah, yeah. What year are you?
So I'm actually a graduate student. I just
Oh,
started my master's.
nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations. What's your first year?
Yeah.
Nice. What are you studying?
I'm studying business intelligence,
Oh, so is this an MBA or a master's in business?
a master's in business.
Nice. Business intelligence. So like data science, data analytics.
Yeah, yeah. More so on the analytics. Um,
Great.
mhm.
And what was your undergraduate degree in?
So I did that in finance and
Okay.
business psychology.
All right. And where at? Was it also at Brooklyn College?
Also at Brooklyn, yeah.
All right, let's go. And so talk to me for you. And it's Khaled or Khalid or Khaled?
Khaled.
Khaled, DJ. Yeah, so I was right. I love it. So yeah, so tell me like how much did it how much was the annual tuition at Brooklyn College?
So luckily, at Brooklyn, I was able to get a scholarship, but I was at BMCC, for my
Nice.
associates. I did have to pay out of pocket for that,
Okay.
and it was actually similar to, sorry, your name is Rojas, or I'm not even sure.
Onyedi, right?
Onyedi? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Michelle or
Yeah.
We're
Oneida.
gonna Onyedi,
Onyedi? Okay.
Onyedi.
Yeah, so that for BMCC, it was 10,000 a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. So yeah, yo, like, and again, this is how billionaires think, right? So I was fortunate to work with a billionaire in my early career. So I went to Howard, studied international business and marketing with a Spanish minor, and then my first job out of college was here in New York City working at the Nielsen Company, a big tech marketing research firm. And then I ended up spending my career working in tech sales and then for a family office, which is an individual family that has a lot of money. And so this was $1 billion family. Basically, they had owned Seagram's, the liquor company, they owned Warner Music Group, and they owned DuPont Chemical. And so with all the billions of dollars that they have, they need to invest it. And while working there, you get an understanding of how wealthy people invest their money. And one of the biggest things that they do is make sure that wherever they're going to put their money, that they get a return on investment. And so the number one thing you have to think about when you're graduating rich is, what do I want my return on investment to be? So for you, Khaled, for you, and Yeti, you're spending $40,000 over the course of 4 years, right? You want to make sure you make not just $40,000, not just $40,000 in a cent. I would say at least 80,000, at least, right? So my question to you is, Khaled and Onyedi, what do you want your return on investment to be? And it must be a number because again, we're thinking about numbers here. So when you think about what you want your return on investment to be, both from, so on Yeti, it's undergrad. And I guess Khaled, now you have to factor in not just your not just your undergraduate degree, but also your graduate degree. I'm assuming what is that going to be another $10,000 a year for you, Khaled?
Yeah, so I'm going part-time. So
Okay.
I guess we could say 4 a year.
Okay. Okay. So let's just round it out to 5, just so we have a whole number.
Okay.
So 50,000. So yeah, so you're investing $50,000. Onyedi, you're investing $40,000. What do you want your return on investment to be? And you don't, this is, I always say personal finance is personal. So you want to ask yourself, hey, like, yeah, what do I really want? And the way to think about it, and we can do this together, the way to think about it is not just numbers, but think about lifestyle, right? So for me, I will be married, right, one day. So I want, it's not just me, but it's my kids. I'm thinking about how do I not just want to live personally, but what type of lifestyle do I want to provide for my kids? What type of lifestyle do I want to provide for when I'm supporting my mother or my cousins back in Nigeria? I want to be able to give back to the community. I want to be able to start scholarship funds. I want to be able to start sports clubs for the community, right? So for me, I'm definitely, if I were in your shoes and I'm thinking about what that lifestyle is, and I wouldn't necessarily be living in New York. I like a little bit more quiet environment. So Washington, D.C. would be somewhere I'd want to live. I want to be able to have a place internationally, a place in Italy that I go frequent. I would want to be able to travel with my family regularly to these places, to Nigeria, where we're from, right? And that's not, obviously, I'll have a husband, so he'll be a rich one too, right? So he'll be carrying a lot of the load, but I want to be able to contribute, and so, and not to say I can't make more than my husband, so I think we'll be a good team. But anyways, that all costs money. There's a number. And so if I'm investing 40,000, 50,000, I want to at least make 50%, right? So I want to at least double my money and leave college with at least 80,000, or for you, Khaled, at least 100,000. And especially if you all plan to stay in New York, I would say at least you want to get a return of leave with $100,000. So a return of 60,000 for you, Khaled, and then Onyedi for you, another that would be actually for Khaled, it would be a return of 50,000, and then for Onyedi, it would be a return of 40,000 to 60,000. Because if you plan on staying in New York and knowing the cost of living in New York, I'm assuming you both are family oriented, and I think we come from immigrant families. It's where we got to take care of some other people, not just ourselves, so that's that number. And so that's again my thoughts, but I'd love to hear from you. Talk to me, like what's that number for you, that return on investment?
So I never really thought about a number on top.
Yeah.
Like for me, I would expect, after getting my master's, I would, hopefully get a job that's either 6 figures. If not, then 90, 85, and then moving up, right? To get that 6 figure. Um, that's really the idea that I had.
I love it. And that's a great starting point. Great starting point. And I'll give you some more I'll help you expand your vision with that, but that's a great starting point. What about you, Onyedi?
I would have to agree because, living in New York is not really easy and it's not cheap at all. But I don't know. Maybe as I go on in life, that would increase. But as of for now, I feel like that's a good point.
Okay. And I wanna ask a little deeper. Can you give me can you try your best to come up with a number? And I know you can do this. Yeah.
Like 60,000.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
between 60 and 80,000, because like you're saying, if I'm already investing approx 40,000, then they
Yeah.
should have a return. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and mind you, that 40,000, that's just tuition. That's not books, that's not food,
yeah.
you know? So I'm gonna push your number to 80,000 because I want y'all to think bigger.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Khaled, we got you at 100,000. Onyedi, we got you at 80,000. And that's great. So number one, right? You first want to ask if you want to graduate rich, the first thing you have to have come in with a vision on what do I want my return on investment to be? That's the number one question you want to ask. What do I want my return on investment to be? Because once you come up with that number, that means you have to know, well, how much am I actually investing? Okay, so for each of you all, you have to think about how much money am I investing? And so that, remember, that includes, that's not just your tuition, that's tuition and fees, that's books, that's any other materials, that's your laptop, that's your transportation costs. And so you have to start putting together those numbers. And Student Dream, we can help you calculate that through our budget tracker and our we have a template that we'll provide with you all. But again, this is literally what wealthy people do. They don't just make up these numbers, but they know their numbers. And so I want you to type that in the chat. Know your numbers. Type that in the chat for me. Know your numbers. Sabe sus números. Or no, it would actually be conoce. Conoce sus números. You got to know your numbers. You know, this is like the little but very important stuff when it comes to money. You got to know your numbers. That's why accounting's such a lucrative field, because no matter where you go when it comes to starting a business or individually, you got to know your numbers. So Onyedi, I want you to type that in the chat for me. Know your numbers. Okay, so once you start to know your numbers, right, that's when you can then start also knowing your value. Or sorry, let me actually go, not just knowing your numbers. Well, it does come with knowing your value, but it kind of happens simultaneously. So you have to not just know your value, but you have to know your value and build your brand. Okay? Know your value. That's number 2. And then number 3 is build your brand. Okay, so let's paint a scenario. Talk to me about the last thing you guys purchased, small or big. What's the last thing you bought?
I actually bought a lot of things. Um, but I guess the most recent that's on the larger side is an air fryer.
Okay, okay. And why did you buy that air fryer?
Trying to be a bit more healthier, on the diet side. Um,
All right, I love it. So that means it's gonna you bought that air fryer because you knew it was gonna give you what you wanted. You knew
mhm.
that, hey, this thing I'm buying, it's gonna give me the healthy lifestyle, the healthy, the nice healthy body, strong body, healthy lifestyle mindset that I want. Okay, and you knew that it would offer you that value. All right, did you do shopping around when you were purchasing it?
Yeah, I looked around a bit. So I knew I wanted something that could also mimic like a microwave.
Okay.
Trying to stay away from microwaves too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's real.
yeah. Yeah, I did a little research and then found like the best option in my budget.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to pause on that. And then Onyedi, talk to me. What's the last thing that you bought?
My school supplies.
All right, school supplies. And why did you buy those supplies? What was
Because
the, yeah.
it's a need.
All
Like,
right.
uh,
She said, it's a need. It's a need. Okay. And so you knew that it would help you get what you needed. And for Khaled, it helped you get what you wanted. You didn't necessarily need a air fryer, but you could have used a microwave, you could have used the stove, but it gave you what you wanted, which was that healthy body, that healthy lifestyle. Okay? It's a need and a want. So when you think about value, You guys got to know the value that you bring to the table, because if you don't know your value, you'll give out discounts, right? If you don't know your value, you'll give out discounts. And so I want you all to type in the chat, if I don't know my value, I will give out discounts. If I don't know my value, I'll give out discounts. I need y'all to type that in the chat. If I don't know my value, I'll give out discounts. Right. Thank you, Onyeti. If you don't know your value, thank you, Khaled. And so do you all know Rolex, the brand Rolex? The
Yep.
watch?
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, the brand of watches. Do you ever see them on having discounts or sales?
I'm not sure. I don't be looking at those.
Yet. Or
Yeah.
or Rolls-Royce, one of the best car companies. Do you ever see them giving out discounts?
I don't think so. Yeah.
No, no. Right? So they do not give out discounts because they know their value and they know that not everybody can afford them, and that's okay. And so in the same sense, when you think about you as a professional, you have to know the unique set of skills, experiences, and perspective that you bring to an organization. Because once you know the unique set of skills, experience, perspective, character, relationships that you bring to a company, you know your value. So for example, hey, I know that I have 12 years of working experience. I know that I'm extremely skilled. I know that I'm skilled when it comes to strategic planning, project management, relationship building. I'm very friendly. I have a great attitude, great optimism that is extremely valuable in any professional setting. And because of that, I'm able to charge a lot, right? Because of that, I'm able to get paid $2,500 for a 1-hour speaking engagement. Because of that, I'm able to charge $150 an hour for my time when I'm consulting, right? Because of that, I'm able to charge $150,000. I'm able to demand an annual salary of $150,000 minimum, right? Because I know my value. So if a company is to come to me and say, oh, well, we can only afford $80,000, that's not my problem. That's not my problem. That just means we can't work together. Okay. And I didn't used to have that mindset, guys. I used to have the mindset of, oh, well, my cost of living is only, it only costs me like $60,000 to live. So I only need $60,000. No, I was completely discounting myself because I didn't recognize my value. I didn't recognize that I have a bachelor's degree with honors, that I graduated Howard University, magna cum laude, with 3 paid internships under my belt. I didn't realize that how valuable my gift of public speaking was, or my friendliness was, or my good attitude was, or my work ethic was, or my skills in project management and strategic planning and sales and teaching and coaching. I didn't realize how valuable that was. And it wasn't until I realized how valuable that was that I was able to not necessarily demand, but communicate that my value is $150,000 a year at minimum, that my value is $150 an hour or $2,500 for a speaking engagement. Right? But once I got aware of my value, best believe I'm not giving out any discounts. That's the price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. And so in the same sense, you guys, you got to know your value. You have to take inventory of your skills, your experiences, your degrees, your work ethic. And one of the things that is so underrated, and this is so important, y'all, and I love that we all come from, let me just make sure. Khaled, is your family from here, or did they immigrate from somewhere else?
No, we immigrated here.
Okay, perfect. So all of us are first generation for the most part, right? So my family immigrated from Nigeria, Onyeti's from Mexico, And what about you, Khaled? Where's your family immigrate from?
From Bangladesh.
Okay, Bangladesh, right? There's just a different work, like no shade to American culture, but there's just a different work ethic and a different value for work and really respect for work that I see in foreign from non-American countries. You know, it's not like people don't take it for granted that they have jobs. There's a great gratitude. There's a a different level of self-respect and an appreciation that shows up, that causes people to work hard, to work with excellence, whether I am working at McDonald's, which is what my first job was, or working at Stop and Shop, which was what my second job was, or working at a deli shop, which is what my third job was, or working at a fast food spot or concierge place, or for a billionaire. My work ethic is going to be the same because I know that no matter what type of work I'm doing, that it has dignity, it has value, and I'm going to do my best. Okay. And so that work ethic, y'all, that's part of your character. So your work ethic is extremely valuable. Your attitude is extremely valuable in the job market. Because a lot of people, if you're going to work with somebody for 40 hours a week, you best believe I'm hoping to work with someone with a good attitude and not a bad attitude, with someone who I can count on, who's responsible and professional, as opposed to someone who shows up late, who doesn't show up on time, who doesn't communicate well. So your attitude is super valuable. Your knowledge is super valuable. What do you know, right? Do you know, for Onyedi, she knows entrepreneurship. For Khaled, you know data analytics, you know economics, right? What is your knowledge? Number 4, what is your experience, right? Did you all have you guys had internship experience, or do you have work experience? Talk to me.
Yeah, I have a couple of internship experiences.
Okay, right. That's extremely valuable because that shows people that you can work and you have that experience that translates. And this can even be like babysitting or volunteering. All of that work experience matters. Your grades, they matter. Okay, your relationships and your network, they matter. So here at Student Dream, basically we have identified 5 different forms of capital. Oftentimes people just look at capital as financial capital, but there really are 5 different forms of capital. And so this includes knowledge capital, experience capital, network capital, character capital, and financial capital. So type that in the chat for me. Knowledge capital, experience capital, network capital, character capital, and financial capital. So there are 5 forms of capital. There's your knowledge capital, your experience capital, okay? There's your relationship capital, all right? There's your character capital, and then there's your financial capital. And so a lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, I don't have any capital. I'm not wealthy, I'm not rich because I don't have a lot of money. But that's just a part of it. In all honesty, it's going to be your knowledge, your experience, relationships, character that build out your financial capital. Okay? And so that's what you want to make sure you're building. That's the type of value you want to pay attention to. Like, you want to take inventory of your professional world and ask yourself, okay, what knowledge do I have? What network do I have? What character do I have? What experience do I have? And so let's do this exercise real quick. I want you all to just take 2 minutes and come up with 1 to 2 items for each of those areas. So I'll do it first just as an example, and then I'll give you all 2 minutes to do it. So for me, knowledge capital, I have a knowledge of personal finance. I have a knowledge of financial markets. Okay, those are 2 things. Experience, I have experience working in technology sales companies at startups. I have experience working as a basketball coach. All right, that's my experience. My network, I have a network that expands government, private sectors. What else? That is international, right? In both Nigeria and Paris and Italy and Germany. So I have a very expansive network that it's from students to the elderly. And then character, right? Character, I am trustworthy, I'm hardworking, and I'm friendly. Financial, I have savings and investments, right? I have a sizable amount of savings and investments. And then I make, I make a good amount every single year in my annual salary from multiple jobs, companies that I own, and investments that I own. Okay, so I'm going to give you all 2 minutes to work on that. Just put 1 to 2 examples for each, and then we'll come back at 1:49. Okay? All right, go ahead, y'all. All right. We are back. So who wants to go first? Tell me, we can go ahead and share. Let's start with Khaled.
So for knowledge, I put agile project management, Tableau,
Nice.
experience. So I did a data analyst internship with JP, and then I did like a project management internship with Morgan Stanley.
Come on, that's huge.
Thanks. For network, I put college peers and then the folks that I met during my internships. Character, hardworking, determined. For finance, I mean, I have a decent amount of savings. I'm not
Nice.
really sure what to put there, but yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that's great. That's great. You did that perfect. And that's awesome. Onyedi.
For knowledge, I put entrepreneurship, and I also like learning languages.
Okay.
For experience, I put teaching and cashier.
Yes.
At work, career fairs, clubs, and volunteering jobs. As character, I put hardworking and responsible, and financials, I also have some savings.
This is huge. This is huge. So do either of you invest in the stock market?
I don't invest, but I would like to learn how to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't invest either. But I have always wanted to get into crypto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crypto's just one type of asset you can invest in. And I wouldn't say to lead with that, but at the basic level, and we talk about this other times, but yeah, you all definitely need to be investing, at least in the stock market. It's the easiest way to, again, graduate rich and build wealth. So we can talk about that another time. But that's incredible, y'all. Good job. So how was that exercise for you? Any questions that came up? Any things that you learned? I would love to hear what was one thing that each of you learned? Maybe I'll give you 30 seconds to think about it, and then you can share.
Something that I learned is how much I have actually done. Like if I go
Yes,
day by day, I don't actually realize, but then if I sit down and think about it, then I actually know that I'm doing something.
absolutely. Come on. What about you, Khaled?
I would say, I guess, like taking a self inventory, of the things that I've done. Just, I guess, just realizing what's been accomplished so far.
Come on. Yeah, it's so important because that in of itself is you literally knowing your value, right? And what did we say before? If you don't know your value, you're gonna give out discounts. And what's unfortunate that I often see is that so many students, they do not they don't know their value. They don't know what their return on investment is, and they don't know their value. So they leave school and say, oh, okay, $40,000 is all right, or $60,000 is all right. And on Yeti, I want to challenge you, like, girl, you will be making much more than $60,000. Absolutely. With what we're going to be learning and just what you just said, your value is as a professional, girl, absolutely. Si se puede make more than 60,000. And Khaled, like, yo, 100,000, that's scratching the surface. You just told me you worked for two of the largest banks in the world. And you're telling me that 86,000 is okay. Man, at least 100,000, at least. Probably, again, you would, especially because you're getting a graduate degree, at least $150,000, the way that we can set things up for you. Okay. And so this is just the beginning. There's a lot more to learning about what it looks like to graduate rich. But as I discussed at the beginning, number one, you have to know what you want your return on investment to be. What do I want my return on investment to be is number one. And for you to know what you want your return on investment to be, you have to ask, well, how much money am I investing in the first place? So you've got to know your numbers. And then number two, you have to know your value. Okay. You have to know your value. You have to know the knowledge, network, experience, character, and financial capital that you already possess. And then you have to start building your brand. You have to start building more value, right? Which is what you're doing, which is Onyeti. That's what you're doing as a student at Baruch. Khaled, that's what you're doing as a student at Brooklyn College. But we have to even take that further to you know, getting those paid internships, building out that company you want, or building out that blog that you want, or that, using your skills and experiences to start businesses. That's you starting to invest. Okay. And that's the beginning pieces of how you graduate rich. But that's essentially what I did as a student. I was able to graduate Howard University having made over $80,000 in scholarship. So my refund checks were not in the form of loans, but they were in the form of scholarships, right? I had 3 paid internships with, or maybe even 4. I had an internship with the U.S. Treasury Department, the Department of Commerce, the Department of Transportation, and the Washington Wizards. And that set me up to graduate college with making $60,000 a year. Mind you, this was 12 years ago, right? So that's worth a lot more a day. but making $60,000 a year. And I had a signing bonus of, I think it was at least $10,000. Okay, working in New York City, being able to take care of myself completely. You know, I graduated rich, and I didn't know that. It took me a couple years to learn how to do that. And that's what I want to bring to you all. And that's literally what we do here at Student Dream. We are helping you not just build your Black wealth, right? But we're helping you to graduate rich. We're helping you to win with money, because so many students are losing with money, and we want you to win with money now. Okay. And so we just scratched the surface here. We just scratched the surface with these free webinars. But, you know, the way that Student Dream can really help you, this is for students, and this is only for students who are tired of being broke. You know, these are for students who are tired of being broke and who want to graduate rich, right? And so we want to help you win, right? We have what's called the Student Dream Investors Gold program, and we really give you the value of accountability through this program. We have group coaching every single week where we're able to do this, but going much deeper. You're able to network with each other. So literally, Khaled and Onyeti, y'all just met, right? One's from Baruch, one's from Brooklyn, but clearly you guys have the same mindset. And one of the most important things that you want that allow you to graduate rich is having your dream team, being with like-minded people who are hardworking, are skilled, and are going after the same goal, who are equally as ambitious. So not only are you getting the group coaching, but you're connecting with a network of some of the most ambitious, hardworking students across New York City, and eventually across the country, and eventually across the world. So you get an hour of group coaching with me and other professional investors and entrepreneurs who are in our network. You get investing lessons every single month, 2 hours a month. We're going to teach you how to invest in the stock market. And then you're going to get access to our collection of videos where we have professionals, entrepreneurs, investors from diverse backgrounds who are sharing their stories of how they've built their Black wealth. Just today, I was meeting with Chef Aaron Sanchez, right? And so we're going to be able to interview him. Interviewing, you know, the owner of Chick-fil-A Brooklyn is in our network. We have billion-dollar investors from Dallas and Germany and Mexico in our network. So you get to hear from them. And so this training, it starts September 24th. Okay. And so if you sign up today, right, you'll be able to get 20% off and get, for $299, y'all, you'll be able to learn how to graduate rich. So the question is, how worth it is it to you to graduate rich? And so as we go through a year of this coaching, you're going to learn how to graduate debt-free, get jobs that you like, and fund your dreams. You're going to get relevant coaching on winning with money, how to navigate the job search, how to negotiate your salary, how to invest, how to start businesses. And all of this is led by a community of Black and brown investors, entrepreneurs, and professionals. And again, every month we're going to get not just career and financial advice, but also coaching around life and decision-making, because those are one of the toughest things for people to navigate, and you'll get that. And then, of course, we have a network of companies that come to us and saying, hey, we're looking for great students. So you'll also get access to paid internship and job opportunities in our network. So if someone comes to me and is like, hey, Nena, do you know any good data analytics people? Oh yeah, let me introduce you to Khaled. Or if a company comes to me and saying, man, I'm looking for a bilingual project manager / teacher, someone with teaching experience who is very entrepreneurial. Oh, let me introduce you to Onyeti. Okay, so that's what this program is. And again, it's only for those who want to graduate debt-free. This is only for those who don't want to have a bunch of loans, who want to get paid internships and jobs that they like, who are tired of being broke, who want to win with money, and who want to invest with confidence and clarity. All right. And again, this is my story, y'all. I'm not making this up. Like, right. My mother was a nurse. My dad was a teacher. I never knew that you could be an entrepreneur or a business owner. I never saw that. You know, I remember saying to myself, like, man, there isn't enough money out there. I don't have any help from my parents. My parents loved me, but they were working all the time and they weren't entrepreneurs. I was like, oh, I don't have any connections. The job market is terrible, but look at me now. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I live in both New York and DC. I have this beautiful house that I live in, and I'm able to spend my Wednesday afternoons helping y'all and seeing y'all get there. And so this can be your story. But I want y'all to sign up, right? Let's win together, you know? And so registration for this Student Investors Gold program, it ends September 17th. And you all can just, I'll put the link in the chat for where you can sign up. If you just go to our website, it's very direct. And again, it's open. Feel free to reach out with any questions that you have. But, you know, the question is like, man, is $300, if you could turn $300 into $300,000 over the course of 5 years, would you do that? I think you'd be a very wise person to do that. Like literally, this course is worth at least $10,000. But because I love y'all, I want to make it extremely accessible, you know? And so I'm not giving a discount per se. It's $10,000, but I'm giving you guys a blessing. All right. Any questions for me? I know I went through a lot just now. Any questions?
All good on my side.
All right, y'all. Perfect. So I'm gonna put this in the chat. Give me one quick second. I wanna go like this. So you all, again, you have until September 17th to register. So, you know, take your time to think about it. And hey, is this $300 worth it? I know that it is. But again, we want to have students and scholars who really want to live this, who want to graduate rich, right? This is your way, this is your pathway to graduating rich. And again, we have these free webinars every single week, but it only scratches the surface. And so I'm really excited to see you all thrive and to answer your questions. All right. And I do have one small request because we always want to get better and better every single time we put these webinars on. And I want to hear about, you know, what do you want to learn from these? So if you can do me a quick favor and just take 5 minutes to fill out this survey, I would be so appreciative. That would be if you got something out of this webinar that you found valuable, do me a favor and just fill out this short survey, por favor, so we can just kick back for the next 2 minutes and just let me know when you're done filling that out. All right, let me know. Give me a heart emoji or a thumbs up when you're done. But take your time for sure. Thank you so much, Onyeti. If you can stick around for just 1 second until Khaled finishes, I'm hoping we can take a little group picture to remember the moment where we started our graduate rich journey.
Oh no, I finished. I put my
Oh, you did? Okay, great. If possible, I know you said you're not in the best place, but Khaled, but is there any way you can come on camera to take a quick picture? If not, that's okay.
I
But if
could
yeah,
try. I mean, the
yeah,
camera on my laptop doesn't really work that well. That's the problem.
that's all right. That's all right. Something you can try. All right, let's hop on camera, y'all, and try to take a quick picture just to remember the moment where we started our graduate rich journey. September 4th, 2024 will go down in the history books. So Onyeti, if you can come on camera real quick, we can just take a group picture and remember the moment. Looking good. Yes, all right. I love it. I love it. You look good, Khaled. You look good.
Yeah, the camera's horrible. It's a
It's
very old
okay. It's
laptop.
okay. All right, y'all. Let's smile. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then we're gonna do one more. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. All right, y'all. Well, that is it. I know that this is going to be the beginning of a beautiful, beautiful collaboration. I'm here to support you all, and hopefully you all sign up for the longer form program so we get to work with each other more deeply. And hopefully I'll see you next week. We'll be back here, same time, same place. All right.
Thank you
Peace.
so much.
My pleasure, y'all. Let's do it. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.
Bye.